What's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic. And today I was wanting to build a deck around Joel Rail, which is a super fun card with the draw 2 mechanic. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you create a 2/2 cat creature token. Works really well with Improbable Alliance, which also creates 1/1, so you can kind of just build this really wide board. And then it has the other ability when at the end of your turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness plus X, where X is, or sorry, XX, where X is the number of your cards in your hand, which is really cool with a lot of cards in standard. I was initially going to play this in standard, but I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool if you could also have lands hit the battlefield and draw you cards as well. So you didn't have to play all of the cards that just draw you 2 cards on the other side of things, or whatever, anything you can do. So I was like, you know what? Let's actually try this out. Why not try playing Tatyova, so that anytime that we have lands in the battlefield, we can also draw cards. It'd be really cool with Scoot Swarm as well, where Scoot Swarm can go really wide, and you can use Joriel's ability to give it, you know, even if we have 3 cards in hand, it can pay 6, give all their Scoot Swarms +3/+3. And so a lot of this stuff you can actually play in standard. In fact, I think there's a pretty legit strategy of just having Joriel as like your win con with Scoot Swarm, where, you know, just have enough mana, which, by the way, you have a ton of that in standard. There's a lot of ramp that you can go for, but I also thought it'd just be really fun to try it out in historic, where we have Explorers, Growth Spirals, and Uros, which are just the perfect combination to like fit all of the rest of this deck together. As far as payoffs in red, we do have Ironcrag Pyromancer. You know, we're playing Improbable Alliance, so we need to have some other things to be doing in red. Ironcrag Pyromancer still does 3 damage to any target, you know, potentially 2 times every turn, or you know, every cycle. Valakut Awakening to help us just draw more cards. It's more lands for us, since we want to have lands in our deck. You know, honestly, not playing tons of lands. Maybe I need trying to find ways to fit more into this deck, and I might make some cuts to kind of fit more in. But we do have lots of ways to draw cards to get payoffs, even if we're not hitting land drops. Scoot Swarms, of course, have to be in here. Valakut Exploration to have more landfall triggers, and then the other side of just like going wide, if we don't have Joriel, is Morag. Morag also just gives +1 to everything, so we can attack in with Scoot Swarms. Everything gets +1. Attack in with, you know, even our other stuff, and we're just fine. I was debating also throwing like Phylath in this, but it just felt too standardy. So I think you can play the standard version of this. I think you can also not play it. And Nissa with Joriel also really sweet. All of our lands, if we get up to like 3 or 4 of them, all of a sudden if we have 2 or 3 cards in hand and Joriel, we can pay 6, which is pretty easy when you know have Nissa out. And you can just do some pretty fun, awesome shenanigans. So as far as the land base goes, all of the shock lands are in force, so that we can play them well with Nissa. We have 4 copies of Sulfur Falls kind of fill the slots. Fatal Passages, go grab our basic lands. We still want to, you know, have the ability to do that, and so we have a few ways to find basic lands as well, and get Trio Trams. And I'm going to go ahead and trim probably a couple things to add in lands with this. And let's go ahead and, I'm not sure what to cut. It's probably the Pyromancers, honestly, are probably the worst thing. They don't fit with everything we have, but we need to have some sort of removal. I want to keep it for now. If we feel like we need to add in some lands along the way, we're going to do it. Right now we have 25 lands, tons of ways to draw into them, and that's okay. So let's see how it does for us. Wish us luck. Here we go. Up against White Rain, and we'll keep this. I like it. Do we want to get out like a red source with this right away? I think we go Stomping Ground, tap, pass the turn. Getting all of our 3 colors is good. If we find another untapped land before Fatal Passages, that'd be great. Okay, Improbable Alliance, playing out first. Is that better than just ramping though? I don't know. This is I'm trying to create this synergy here that is fun, and I'm really not sure if it's gonna be like we slow ourselves down a lot by playing that versus other stuff. 19k untapped land. Pyromancer is interesting. Growth Spiral, draw a card. There's a land. All right, so shock this in. Since we have multiple ways to draw cards, we're just going to go ahead and go for this right now. I'd rather just ramp. Yeah, up another blue source. Explore. Okay. Getting closer to lands. That's all right. Wily Goblin. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're fast enough to beat goblins. The shenanigans they can do is just better than our shenanigans. We're more of like the grindy value type of deck. And we just hope we're not up against a combo this kind of bad stuff. But guess what? We're up against this kind of bad stuff right now. There's a land. All right, Pyromancer. I guess we kill Snoop over the Prospector since there's so many of them. This deck actually is kind of cool. Like, I like what we're doing. I don't think this ever beats goblins. Never say never, but it doesn't beat Muxus on turn 4 or anything like that. All right, that's 2 lands in hand. There's a chance there's no Muxus. Another Skirk. Okay. Interesting. Intriguing. Okay, we're looking for a Scoot Swarm now, I think, and just go crazy wide if we can. Nissa's also good. We're going to decline on this one. Okay, 3 damage to Skirk. Could also send this at face. Maybe just start actually going a little bit aggro. We can start from the graveyard, so we have more stuff to do. I am playing out Uro again. Ugin. Now we play out the land. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. If it's Muxus, I want more blockers. Cancel attacks. Yeah, no attacks. Pass the turn. The Oog. The one of Ugin. Just to be able to close out games. Honestly, this is... If we're going to be goblins, this is the hand that we needed to do it. We let them hit everything here. Crazy big, but not enough to kill us. That's exactly the kind of thing we wanted here. All right, perfect. Yeah. We're going to lose Improbable Alliance. We're going to lose a lot of stuff. We have to hit untap land, I guess, as well. Or do we? Do we have enough with Nissa? We might get there. I don't know. I'm just going to crack this now just to get out of the way. We want another forest, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do both if we get another untapped land. We can play Uro as well. All right, so chump here. Chump here. Do we double block as Herc Prospector and try to just go like for Nissa? Because like, what if we don't do it this turn? We have Nissa into Uro. Right, we could do that. We can take 6. We can kill a Trash Master or War Chief. Okay, down to 15. Not an untapped land. Not a bad card, though. I think we want to do that after Ugin. The whole game plan here is to get to Ugin. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... Let's see here. We might want to leave a forest up, or one island up. Let's see, untap. We can go Nissa. Still not quite enough to get to Uro there. We played out the same way regardless, though. All right, so play Nissa. I guess we have to tap an island this way. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, island.
Behold, nature's true power.
Uro from the graveyard. Gain some life, draw some cards, have a big boy. And then we just hope they don't have another Muxus or Krenko or, you know, anything bad. Actually, so here's the question. If they have Krenko... Well, that's the land to get to Ugin. Chieftain or Trash Master? Killing Trash Master means we have a higher chance of keeping Nissa alive. War Chief means that they can't do as much crazy shenanigans. So let's kill War Chief. No attacks. We'd like to keep Nissa alive with Ugin if possible, too. Double Scoot Swarm. We actually get to untap. Swing in. Is it with everything? All right, so how do we do this? We might be able to kill. So we get to draw a card and do damage with Pyromancer right away. We're definitely playing Ugin. There is a chance that we can actually kill Muxus here. Or we do 3 points of damage there and they don't ever do it. Okay. Let's just go Trash Master. This way they can't like Castle Embereth and kill our island super easy. We can also just Ugin and tick up on Muxus and just hope they don't have anything else crazy. Okay, Uro dies. That's fine. Dude, okay. This is cool stuff. Ugin. No need to negative now. Okay, we explore first. I know I should be saving this for maybe the next turn, but I want to find a land if possible. Okay, untapped. Untap a Stomping Grounds. Okay, double green, blue. We can just pass turn. We don't have to do it right now. Can we use Improbable Alliance? Maybe if I had tap better. Pass the turn. Muxus is definitely the worst thing can happen here. Muxus and they just go crazy with it. But with 4 blockers, still at 21 life, other things that they have to go after. Oh, they're scooping right now. Oh, yeah. Yes! Dude, I said there was no way we were going to beat goblins. And then we beat goblins. Yeah, boys. Dude, that was cool. All right, up against Busius. And, man, 2 lands again. We're on the draw, though, and we do have Joriel into Uro, which is pretty sweet. We'd love to find a Growth Spiral or Exploration, but we also want payoffs to then be using with those, which is kind of this funky realm. Man, maybe we just need a little bit more card draw on the deck overall. We have a lot of spells that do draw us cards. Thoughtseize takes Uro. I would take Uro. Throwing it into the graveyard is not necessarily great for you, though. I guess we lead off with Fable Passage now. Pass the turn. All right, plays out. So Grixis, Young Pyromancer. Oh, this deck. Crap, I hate this deck so much. Yeah. Let's go with... We're going to have to shock in the Stomping Grounds kind of no matter what. So let's just go blue or green. We need more of those. We'll go blue. Sweet. All right, Jewel Reel. Pass the turn. I might lead out with Ironcrag Pyromancer instead of Uro. Thoughtseize is really annoying if they have an Arcanist, but if we have a way to actually start killing their Arcanists, it could be pretty sweet. Maybe we only want 3 copies of Jewel Reel as well, just because it is legendary. Storming Entity. Ugh. Okay then. All right, yeah, we're gonna head out. We're gonna send out the Ironcrag Pyromancer. Next turn we could Uro and Joriel and shock ourselves like crazy. not gonna happen, but we could. I think what we're looking for is Growth Spiral, actually. There's something else to start drawing cards, doing some shenanigans with. Village Rites draws 2 more cards. Still hasn't found a Phoenix. I'm assuming they're playing Phoenix with how many cheap spells they're trying to cast here. If they have Shock, this is annoying, but we'll block there. Down to 11. We can go wide pretty easily, so I'm more worried about the entity than I am about anything else. If they're holding up a spell to give it prowess, then that's really annoying for us. They know we have Uro. Yeah, maybe we do just try to go after Pyromancer, because I feel like they can play around this pretty easily. Play out Uro, gain some life, draw a card, get to deal 3 to something. Valakut Exploration, actually pretty sweet. All right. Put a land onto the battlefield. Do we put out a Joriel and shock ourselves a bunch? No, we do not. Okay, Smith is tapped. If they have a spell, this is the worst thing we could do. They've had interactions, right? So it's got to be a spell. So I think we just hit the Young Pyromancer here. Claims are really annoying, but yeah. Now they'll just have to try to do it on another turn. Stomping Ground tap, pass the turn. Tatyova would also be pretty sweet here. Start gaining us life and drawing us cards. Valakut Exploration, not bad either. Young Pyromancer, number 2. Swings in. We're not seeing any spells cast yet. Okay, maybe we can kill this. Probable Alliance. Yeah, we want flyers more than we want other stuff. Valakut Exploration. I mean, going wide might be necessary here too, but... No attacks. This doesn't actually count as card draw, but it's card advantage. Down to 13. Of One Mind draws lots of cards. Yeah, that's bad. Of One Mind actually might not be bad in this deck too. We do have enough humans that we can occasionally have it happen. Taking 6. Dreadhorder Arcanist. Down to 4. Okay, we can draw with Improbable Alliance, which creates a blocker in the air. Can't shock that in, kind of no matter what here. Yeah, we're just a little bit too slow at this. Morog is kind of cool. Draw a card, discard a card. What do they have in the graveyard? Bloodchief's Thirst is annoying. Thoughtseize, Village Rites. Ways to draw cards. We can go Joriel into Uro, though, on the next turn, and have more bodies. If we get to survive a turn. I'm not sure if we do. We have a blocker now for Storming Entity. I think we actually killed the Arcanist over anything else. Yeah, so Arcanist, we just hope they don't have removal. Because we can block here, block here. If they don't cast a spell, then we can go down to 1. And then Joriel, Uro on the next turn, draw cards, print more bodies, kill something else. There's a Fatal Push. All right, good game. Yeah, they got us. I mean, I think we played that the best that we could, having a really slow start, but I do like this deck. I think that it has a chance. It needs to be tweaked, I think, a little bit. We're going to play it as it is. We're going to leave it up to you guys to tweak it how you want it. Bear Force 1, bring it on. We have a Growth Spiral in the opening hand. We're keeping it. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Let's do. All right, Triumph. Pass the turn. Vessel. Yeah, not Shockland. Seems nice. Joriel first. Pass the turn. And then we also get to Nissa pretty quickly too here, so that's sweet. If Joriel dies, it's not the worst. I mean, it's not like I love it or anything, but... Scoot Swarm as well, with the Fable Passage. Uro or Growth Spiral here? I guess Uro. Put this land onto the battlefield. Get a token. No attacks past the turn. All right, this is the start that we've been wanting with this deck. Thoughtseize takes Nissa. Might want to take the Scoot Swarm, though. It actually is a really good answer for everything they're doing here. Scoot Swarm or Nissa? If you have answers for Nissa... Okay, yeah, Scoot Swarm goes away. I'm gonna say, like, that actually can be legitimate. Sacrifices a creature. Okay. Alrighty then. We know we have Nissa for the next turn. Killing Young Pyromancer actually might be pretty great here. Yeah, we have Growth Spiral as well, which we can untap. Triome and Growth Spiral. Draw a card, make a big board. All right, no blocks. We'll take it. Down to 19. Breeding Pool's nice. I'd rather untap this than Triome, so I'm going to go ahead and shock ourselves for that.
Strange and magnificent world. The land fights for us.
All right, Growth Spiral, draw a card, get a token. We'll put out Fable Passage. Kind of tempting not to there, but we do want to still keep ramping. Priest of Forgotten Gods. We're pretty good against that. That's fine. And Photoscoop Sedef. Yes, there we go. Yeah, we're fine with Nissa taking some heat. And then Falcon Exploration just gives us so much card advantage. Yeah, it's not card draw, but it's fine. And how close are we to getting back Uro? Not super close, but still. And then Joriel being able to pump in the lands as well. Dude, it's when this deck goes off, it is good stuff. All right, up against Jay Simmons, and this is the kind of thing I've been worried about, is just like having a bunch of these hands that only have 2 lands. We're going to mulligan, try to find 3rd land. All right, we kind of got there. Keep this, chop a Nissa, Pyromancer. We'll drop a Pyromancer. Actually, Pyromancer might be better than like Improbable Alliance for us when we don't have much else to do here. We want to get up to Nissa. We don't have any like card draw cards. This is really awkward. We have had all the other stuff in our deck. If we find them, Improbable Alliance becomes really nice. We already have chump like tokens though, so let's go for just blockers. Valakut Awakening tap, pass the turn. Gonna get out Joriel. We do want Fable Passages for some of the other things as well. Soul Warden. Well, there you go. There's that. Man, Joriel with this feels a little bit awkward. Although Iron Creek Pyromancer, hopefully we can just find one of the Uro, Growth Spirals, or Explorers. You know, only like I think we have 11 of those cards in the deck. It'd be nice to find one of them. Gain some life, Pride Mate. That's bad. Oh, and now Pyromancer just helps them out with that. Well, we grab blue mana. We can start doing stuff next turn. Yay! No attacks past the turn. Crap. Maybe I just need to mulligan a little bit more aggressively with this deck too. Yeah, up against a mono white deck that's going off is bad for us. No blocks. Down to 15. Getting close to Nissa, which does get around the Soul Warden shenanigans that can happen here. And honestly, man, I want to go Ironcrag Pyromancer before we Growth Spiral. Because first off, it's a blocker for Pridemate, and we can kill Soul Warden. Pridemate's annoying, but we can also just make chump blockers for days against that. And so I think that's fine. Of course, if they just go wide here, it's also bad. Pass the turn. Okay. Daxos, yep, gains lots of life with everything. And Heliod is turned on. That sounds dirty. Pridemate, yeah. This is bad. Gains 2 life. Pridemate gets 2 counters onto it. They get another counter to Soul Warden. And therefore we cry inside a lot. It's almost like not doing much until turn 4 in Historic is a bad thing to do. We have to block or else we're dead. And so now... oh, man. I mean, one cool thing is we can go pretty wide with this deck. So block there, take 5 down to 5. Sorry, take 10 down to 5. Catch your Triome. Improbable Alliance. Get more creatures to hit the battlefield. Draw a card with Growth Spiral. Did not hit another land. 2 blockers. How wide can they go? Yeah, putting counters onto Daxos makes us sad. So we're just gonna scoop it up here. Okie dokie then. Well, we did things. They were just a little bit too late. All right, up against Steven and Puppy Cat. Lots of tapped lands. We are on the draw. We can hopefully find something that's untapped here. That's a green source. And we can play Improbable Alliance. Hope for a green source. Because we can go out and grab like a red or blue source here. Sulfur Falls and Improbable Alliance. We have a way to find green sources. That feels a little bit funky though. All right, Fabled Passage, pass the turn. Up against a mono red deck, aggro on the draw. I mean, that's just something that we're gonna lose often anyway. Like it's one of the hardest decks to play against on the draw. All right, what you got there, sir? We have a lot of slow lands. Down to 19. Hydromancer. Untapped something. We can't even play Improbable Alliance no matter what. So we're going for Joriel potentially. We have to shock ourselves to do it. But yeah, I mean, we got to go really wide if they don't have removal. So we play it. We pass the turn. We hope and pray. Basically. Please, 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 please. Swing in. No blocks. They can pump here. They're probably just trying to get in for the light up stage anyway, though. Now they have a chance to shock and light up the stage. Just goes for Lightning Strike. Interesting. Down to 12. Joriel number 2. Sulfur Falls. Pass the turn. As far as red decks go, their hand hasn't been crazy oppressive. I mean, we're still at 12, and it's turn... I guess turn 4, yeah. So, I mean, that's better than it's been in the past. Down to 10. Okay, now we can go Improbable Alliance, Explore. And then potentially get a land in Improbable Alliance Uro on the next turn. Start getting lots of tokens. We don't need any more than like 1 red mana. I don't think. Do we want more blue though? All right, we'll try this. We have a blocker. We're not dead yet. It's pretty dang close, but we're not dead yet. Block here. Take 2, down to 6. We get to gain some life next turn. We also just play Nissa. Untapped green source means we get to play Nissa and do other shenanigans. That's not an untapped green source. Now that might be a little bit too risky. Because we had to tap down the land. Critting out 2 blockers, I think, might be better. With some life gain. Yeah, maybe. That's more blockers. The Scoot Swarm there. Okay, 2 more blockers. We can also just draw with Improbable Alliance if we need to do something like that there. We can bring back Uro. Alright, we'll play it out. Untapped land gives us Nissa and Uro. Draw cards, make 2 tokens, have a 3. What? What? I guess if they couldn't kill us there, then Uro got there, but I did not expect them to scoop that quickly. Okay. Yeah, absolutely mulliganing this one. We will keep this hand for sure. Drop the Morog. Goodbye, Morog. Really wish I could play ya, but no. Not in the cards. That's our like best top deck in the late game, basically. Grindy matchup, all the shenanigans happening, and then we want to find that. Alright, Jor-El probably dies, but I'd rather play it out than not do it. Finding our lands feels good. Alright, goblins? Without any early game goblins? Strange. Yep, no blocks. Take it. That's a good land to find as well. Okay, Uro. And we get Nissa for next turn into Growth Spiral. You don't say. Okay, pass the turn. Goblin Matron. Yeah, they're 1 land away from Muxus. So they go grab Muxus, or did they grab a Crank? They probably tapped wrong here. They probably want Script Prospector. Auto Tapper got them. Ha! Ha! You got by Auto Tapper. Ha ha! Fool. Swings with Matron. And we will block if they do. Okay. Okay, Nissa. And I'd really like to have just an answer for Muxus here, but we're just gonna build our board the way it ought to be built. Swinging with Breeding Pool. Totally willing to trade off with any of these fools. Grow Spiral, draw a card, make a token. I really am like loving this deck. It's actually pretty sweet. Iron Pyromancer are pretty sweet here too. 3 blockers to keep Nissa alive. Do you have a Muxus though? If you do, then sad day. Yeah, there's Muxus. Okay, how sad of a day is it though? They've already have the Chieftain, which makes it bad. All right, that could have been worse. Nissa stays alive. We get to kill a Chieftain. Do you have a Krenko to play as well? No, and they don't even swing? What? What? Okay, Pyromancer. We get to kill Chieftain. Yeah, I guess we shocked this end. It's kind of funky, but yeah. Uro. And we're going wider than Gobos. Yeah, that's right, boys. Untap. So we can do some kind of funny things here. We have one card in hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so here, this is what we do. So we untap Reading Pool. We swing with it to lands and see if they miss this. So we can actually kill Muxus here. But we have to tap down to do so. All right, so activate ability. They become 4/4s. Kill the Muxus. Not that they probably don't care about that too much, but we get it off the board. And they're down to 12. And now we can actually kind of like, if they swing all in and don't kill us, we might just be able to swing back for a bunch. Oh no. All right, well, they got a Krenko. Another Muxus to hand. Plenty of ways to play it. Yeah. Yep. This is how I expected Gavo's games to go. Like, we do cool things. We might have a shot. We have ways to kill a lot of the main pieces in their deck, but yeah, not quite enough. I probably should have held back with the Breeding Pools to block other things that they swing in with, but he's all good. Muxus again. The triple Muxus threat is a pretty legitimate threat, some might say. Doesn't get the Krenko. I guess you don't do it until you have to. Snoops. I mean, we get to untap. Do you swing all in? If you swing all in, you're actually in trouble. If you leave us with an Ironcrag Pyromancer, you're also in quite a bit of trouble. We need to draw a card, though. Oh, man, that's not a card draw. We can put 5 cards into the graveyard. We need to kill Krenko. And still somehow survive. I don't think it's possible, guys. So what we could try to do is swing in with Breeding Pool Joriel. If either of them die, then we get to bring back Uro. Or if both of them die. Otherwise, we can, if one of them dies, we can play Nissa, lose the Nissa, and then try to go do something with that. But I don't think that's really the way we play. And I needed to bring that in untapped, so we'll just use Nissa here.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I can bring out another blocker with the other Nissa. Giving them indestructible and getting all of our lands out could actually be pretty nice, though. If we have like Tatyova and do that, that'd be sweet. So we'll pass the turn. There's a chance they swing all in and don't quite kill us, and then we get Tatyova off the top, ultimate with Nissa. Life's good. Oh, right. Oh my gosh. Nice. Yeah, okay, we're dead. That means we're dead for sure. They get to go wide enough just to like do 30 points of damage to our face, so okay. That's cool. All right, up against an Anomander, and we'll keep this. Grow Spyros, Uros. We don't have any of our draw 2 things, but that's okay. Sometimes we don't need that. Oh man, up against... All right, there's a draw 2 thing. Up against Aras. Aras is really fast. It's bad for the soul. Yeah, and the Spirit Dancer, and we cry. Maybe they don't have flying, and we can just create chump blockers for days, and they just never find a flying card. That could happen. Maybe if it was the mono white version, but the Azorius version, less chance of that happening. Cartouche. All right, no flying yet. We're good. We're gonna get there. Oh yeah, okay, just lifelink. That's fine. Totally cool. Totally cool. No, this is such a bad matchup for us. Like, of all the matchups, this is probably the absolute worst. There's a lot of other not good ones out there, but this one. Improbable Alliance does let us have a flyer, but we can't just let that be the case this turn. Oh, more lands, please. Okay, pass the turn. We have a chump blocker. No attacks. Do you have flying? You've drawn plenty of cards. You can draw way more cards to find it too. Sentinel's Eyes. Okay, Vigilance. There's that. If we get to Improbable Alliance and Growth Spiral on this next turn, then we actually have a shot. It takes a really specific land to work for this, though. Any of our dual lands will do it. Okay. Still no flying. Baffling End. Hits the token or the Joriel. Okay, we're chump blocking. it's all good. Okay, Improbable Alliance and the mana for Growth Spiral. That's what it'll take. Do we find it? To at least keep us in the game. All right, we got there. All right, we are doing it. Improbable Alliance. Growth Spiral. If we can get to a point where we're playing all of them out, then we can at least prolong the game like crazy. Not that that does much for us, but we could do that, you know. Unauthorized Bounty, protection from blue. Yeah, although that's not quite what they want to do just yet. Because they actually lose a lot of their auras. But with all the glitters, I think they're fine. Otherwise, we could try to get to the Ugin. If we got to Ugin in time, it'd be fine. How much do they lose here? Blue, okay, they still have enough. Okay, good game. Yep, we'll concede. I guess I should let them hit, but yeah, whatever. All right, up against Dr. Beard. We do have some card draw in this hand. We have lots of Improbable Alliances. So, I mean, if this isn't a crazy fast deck... Oh, guess what? It's... oh, no. All right, Triumph. Pass the turn. It's Gruul Aggro. If this isn't a fast deck, I was about to say, then 3 blockers a turn is pretty sweet. But if we're up against decks that play, you know, all of the blockers in the world too. All right, well, Improbable Alliance. Pass the turn. Scoot Swarm can be good too. We do have lots of blockers. As long as they don't have Trample, we're fine. Oh, hey, look, Trample. Yeah, we're screwed. Big time, boys. Down to 6. Look at this. We get to play turn 3 before we die. How about that? Scoot Swarm, here we go. Good game. Oh, man. See, this is where I'm actually okay with the turn 3 board wipe that came out with Kaldheim. Because, like, how else do you interact with that kind of a board state? Like, this is insane. And so there is the side of, okay, if I have turn 2 foretell it, turn 3 I can board wipe on turn 3. Like, that's the only way you survive some board states. Like, if you have even a somewhat slower hand, like Improbable Alliance does do things. I just didn't happen to have the things it does stuff with. And you're dead so quick. All right, up against Kingman. This is the perfect hand. We like it. We want more card draw stuff. We always want more. Fervent Champion. Up against red on the draw again. Come on. It is always this way, huh? That's cool. Pyromancer or Lava Runner, I mean. Joriel's at least a good blocker for what's going on over there. Joriel. Pyromancer, like, this is the one other good card. Like, this is the part of the reason we have this in this deck, is that it's really good against these decks. If they can't kill it right away with shocks and shenanigans or in response to us blocking stuff, then it's a wall, it's a blocker over and over again, and it just kills them. So, like, honestly, Pyromancer in a deck like this might even be good just by itself, depending on the format. We have to shock ourselves to do anything worthwhile. Yep, okay, we're doing it. Pyromancer. 2 cards left in hand. Do you have land into Embercleave? Then we cry. Do you have whatever else can happen? Wizard's Lightning. They've already sent 1 to face. Pyromancer. We're going to block something. If it's a Wizard's Lightning, then we're in trouble. If it's Shock, then we want to block the Fervent Champion. We'll block here. All right, Wizard's Lightning means that we get to save a little bit of damage there. Scoot Swarm. 2 blockers. Pass the turn. Can we take 3 here? We're definitely blocking the Pyromancer. Okay, swings like that. In that case, that means that they probably don't have as good of stuff. So we take 1, leave the Scoot Swarm out and about. Scoot Swarm number 2. Can't shock ourselves here. 2 tokens. No attacks, pass the turn. This feels like Embercleave. Do what's best though. If we can get to Ugin, we might have a shot. We need some life gain. Land into Morog is also pretty sweet. Okay, they have the Embercleave. Save the Pyromancer. And that's game. Yep. Yeah, we were just hoping they didn't have it. As soon as they had it, we're dead, basically. All right, so there you guys have it with the draw 2 landfall. We actually never found Tatyova, which is kind of a bummer. But the rest of the deck performed really well in some instances and was just too slow in other instances. So what I think would be really cool with this deck, first off, I think if you find the right matchups, there are a lot of pieces here that are good for those matchups. And it's all just about finding the right ones for the right times. Like Pyromancers you want against goblins in mono red. We happen to run against a lot of mono red and goblins, and we did find it actually a couple times, and those are the games that we won. And other times that we just didn't have the answers for it. So the deck is cool, it's fun. I think that you probably trim out like 2 more copies than Probable Alliances, maybe some Joriels. You try to just make it a more consistent deck, maybe add in Crank or Karn so that you can have a sideboard that is going to be good against stuff, just because that seems to work really well, okay? And so overall, I think this deck is fun. I think it's a blast. I don't think it's quite very powerful, at all. I am intrigued to see, though, how much of this stuff can be played in Standard. So we have Joriel and Probable Alliance and Scoot Swarm. We have some lands, the Pyromancers. We have Ugin and Morog. You lose out on a lot of these core pieces, but those can be replaced with other pieces. We have Op still. We have, Fire Prophecy. We have a bunch of other cards that just draw us things, get us up to bigger stuff. Scoot Swarm, Morog, and Joriel, I think we're actually a really good mix where it's a way to go wide. You can use those to kind of pump and use the 6 ability to kind of do a lot of cool things. I think the biggest thing is just finding more and more ways to find like the biggest thing is Tatyova was one of the ways to draw us lots of cards in the late game, which we never really got to do. But it's a way that you could do that. It would be really cool. Nissa also works really well with Joriel. Anyway, that's it. Thanks so much for joining in. If you like the video, then hit the like button. If you like what I do on the channel, then hit the subscribe button. And if you want to let me know that you made it to the end of the video, there's a keyword here. The secret word is the benthic druid. No, we need a better keyword. The secret word here for this one is Kaldheim Rocks. Super excited. Just Kaldheim Rocks, that works. That's the secret word for this one. All right, thank you guys so much for dropping on. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and peace out. Bye.